GMFB presented by Old Trapper Beef Jerky. Happy to be partners with them as we sit here live in beautiful New York City. Fall is ahead of us. Wednesday, September 8th. My name's Kay Adams, Peter Schrager. Hi, Kyle Brandt. Hello.
Hello.
And Michael Robinson. How are we feeling?
What's going on, people? I'm having a good time. Man.
Yeah, we're ready to have a big show. We're taking some big swings. You've got a list, a 5-question list today. What do we got?
We still have 5 questions, 24 hours ahead of kickoff. I still have things we need to know. We're going to go through them real quick. The commissioner, Roger Goodell, saw him on TV last night at the U.S. Open. Getting his last fix of another sport before he hits the tour and goes to all these other. But he was at the Open, watching some tennis. Get it out of your system, commish. Football time.
I was there Monday, and all I could think about was football. I'm sitting there, and I'm like, oh, a crowd? Oh, normalcy? All I could think about was getting to a football stadium for a regular game, and that's what we have in Tampa tomorrow night. It's time with Lee Block.
Lee Block.
Let's do it. Our long wait's almost over. That's right. We've got action between the Cowboys and the Buccaneers. So we've got to get the latest from both squads. Let's start with Jen Slater with the Cowboys, Sarah Walsh down in Tampa with the defending champs.
Thanks, Kay. Well, as the Cowboys and myself depart for Tampa this afternoon, they are going to need their defense to unpack all of that work that they've done this offseason. They certainly feel like they have a clearer vision of what's expected of them under new defensive coordinator Dan Quinn. And on paper, at least, this team is certainly a lot more talented. And that starts with their first-round pick, linebacker Micah Parsons. I did ask around and say, how does this rookie stand out for you? Because there's a lot of hype that come with these guys, but he has been making immediate plays. And I was told he reminds them of Clay Matthews when he was a rookie. Keep in mind, he was all over the place for Green Bay and the Packers, so pretty nice comparison there. And I did think it was interesting ahead of their final preseason game here at AT&T Stadium. Parsons was getting a lot of work in with the defensive line. That's because we're expecting to see him in a couple of pass rushing situations. For more on this game and the Bucs, let's go to Sarah Walsh.
Thanks, Jane. Tom Brady can certainly relate to some of what Dak Prescott will be feeling Thursday night coming back from a season-ending injury. It happened to Tom Brady back in 2008 when he tore his ACL in Week 1. I asked him about that and what it was like to make that return, and he said it really gave him a different perspective because players, he said, feel like they're invincible, and something like that happens and you learn that you're not. He said he also learned this, that he would rather play and lose than not play at all. Bruce Arians told us that he expects to see the very same Dak Prescott that they all saw before the injury. Kay, back to you.
And that's the one we'd love to see. Thank you so much to Sarah and Jane. Obviously a huge, big-ticket matchup to start off the season. Tom Brady up against America's team. We've talked about it a lot this week, starting Monday, Tuesday, now we're at Wednesday. I'm curious if anything has changed with you guys. It seems like the vibe is, especially given the Zach Martin news, it's a bit of an uphill battle for Dallas against a team bringing everybody back and healthy. Complete the sentence for me. Let's make it simple like that. And Mike Rob, we'll start with you.
Okay.
The Cowboys will win Thursday night if
they take the ball away from Tampa Bay. More importantly, hold on to the football as well. But, I mean, you saw when Dak Prescott was the quarterback last year, they had 11 turnovers in those first 5 games, so they cannot turn the football over. But Dan Quinn's defense, guys, is predicated off taking the football away from opposing offenses. Now, that's a lot easier said than done, right? They have to be in the right position. They have to be in their spots. And Dan Quinn, when he was the defense coordinator in Seattle, and I think we have a board that I want to show you guys, his defenses understand how to take the ball away. Look at 2013, we won the Super Bowl. They only gave up 14 points, 273 yards total, number 1 in the National Football League, 172 passing yards. Look at 2014. These are the 2 Super Bowl squads, okay? They played tough-nosed defense. They took the ball away. You can't win in this league if you don't have the football. And, you know, you look at Tom Brady and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. They had about 17 turnovers last year, almost won a game. He doesn't turn the football over much. This game is going to come down to if the Dallas Cowboys can take the ball away from Tom Brady.
Might be easier said than done, as you noted. Yesterday we were watching Hard Knocks, and it's DeMarcus Ware talking to Micah Parsons, and Ware's like, I was even a veteran in the league, and Brady would just do tricks with me. Like, you can't be fooled by him. How hard of a assignment in your first NFL game is being a linebacker with Tom Brady under center?
Oh, I mean, it's everything. I mean, it's the subtle movements. You saw DeMarcus Ware talking to Micah Parsons about it. It's the subtle movements. He may point at you. He may re-mic you. You may think something is going on and something may not be going on. He may do a play-action pass. You're all up in the line of scrimmage. You got a tight end screaming behind you. You just have to know your assignment. If Michael Parsons and this defense can know their assignment, they'll be fine.
They'll be fine.
They'll be fine.
I mean, fine.
They'll be fine.
This is a defense that was historically terrible last year. They're going to be fine against. Okay, we'll have another day to talk about it. Good luck, Dan Quinn. I think it's the other side of the ball. I think there's like all these different matchups. There's only one where it's clear cut to me. This unit has an advantage over this unit. I think the Dallas wide receivers are really good. I think with CeeDee Lamb and with Amari Cooper and with Michael Gallup, they might have an advantage over the cornerbacks on Tampa.
Okay.
I know it's a team defense, but that's where we look.
Right.
You look at it, the tail of the tape, I'm like, all right, I'll take those wideouts. And I think CeeDee Lamb needs to just be amazing.
Okay.
Really?
I think CeeDee Lamb needs to dominate tomorrow in a way that we have not seen him dominate yet. Him and Dak together, they only had a few games last year. CeeDee Lamb didn't really get going towards the end of the season. I think he needs to just absolutely steal the show and be like, here's why there's been so much hype on me all summer. Here's why they're talking about me as the number one over Amari Cooper. Here's why I can do this. I'm talking like 200 yards. I think we need one of these Randy Moss against the Cowboys type deals. National coming out party. I'm a bona fide superstar. Again, Hard Knocks. I watched it last night. CD says like last week he had COVID and could not taste anything, could not smell anything, said it was the worst week of his life. He's 22 years old. And he says he's so grateful now to be over that and to be over that hurdle and to be now being able to play in an NFL game. I came out with that breakout players list a couple weeks ago. If you watch the show, if you don't, here it is. This is the breakout players list.
Where do you go, number 6, number 7?
I could have put anyone. Look at number 1. I put him as a number 1 in the entire league.
Wow.
I really feel that way, Mike.
This is not your opinion. It's based largely on what you hear.
Yes, and that like summer was amazing. He was coming on strong at the end of last season, and that those teams that took Ruggs and Judy above him last year are going to regret that, as if it's those teams who took Trubisky or anyone else over Mahomes. Like, I feel that strongly about CeeDee. If I'm going to back my words up on the national showcase against Tampa, this guy needs to put on a show. So call this a salute to arms, if you will. This needs to be the CeeDee Lamb game if they are going to compete, I think.
And the numbers back it up when he's a small sample size, but when he's out there with Dak, there's a serious connection there.
I think they're going to have to get him the ball quick, man. I think he's going to have to take the ball and run with it a lot, especially to get Dak comfortable, man.
The Randy Moss comparison is apt.
You know?
And it's poetic as well, because Randy Moss was the one the Cowboys passed on and then let them up, and then here we are all these years
Do you
later.
think he can go for like 230 and 3 touchdowns?
No, I don't think he can go for 230 and 3, Peter, but I think he could have a big night. My thing all week and will continue to be, I'm not here for the Bucs have a better team on paper and the Cowboys don't, so the Bucs are going to win by 30 points. I'm not. It gets too strange, gets too unusual week 1. And the Cowboys will win this game if Tom Brady forgets the pass and if the Cowboys study the pass. Guys, let's do it. 4 years to the day from today, the Kansas City Chiefs go up against the world champion New England Patriots and Tom Brady coming off the 28-3 comeback. And Alex Smith burned Gillette Stadium to the ground. Demetrius Harris, Kareem Hunt in his first football game ever.
Fumbled his first carry.
First carry ever.
And took off after that.
Look at these beautiful plays. This is the world champion pass. This is Brady hanging the banner. Oh my God, they got crushed in this game. With Patrick Mahomes on the sideline watching for the Kansas City Chiefs. Guys, things can happen. You want the Amari Cooper game or you want the CeeDee Lamb game? A Kareem Hunt game happened that you didn't see coming. And meanwhile, we got a clip of Tom and Giselle shooting something in their car going home, and she's angry and he's angry. They were shocked. No one, if we had done the show that day and we were probably sitting there on that Wednesday being like, well, it's the Brady and it's Alex Smith. No, they got shocked. Their asses kicked that night in their own stadium. It can happen. Tomorrow I'll tell you if it will happen, but I'm just saying today it can.
I like that. There's just different takes at the table. We've been talking about it every which way. I'm with Triggs. I think there's no way that the Cowboys can stop the Bucs offense.
My thing is this: people have to understand, like, this team wasn't meant to be a 3-4. They didn't have the personnel last year for a 3-4 defense. That put you out of place. That put guys in places they're not accustomed to.
But the sum of that is that the Cowboys defense cannot stop the Bucs. So ipso facto, I think on the other side, it's going to be CeeDee Lamb. So this is one of those things, to me, Dak Prescott's going to have a 400-yard, 3-touchdown game for this one.
Man.
It's him versus the GOAT. Can he outduel him? I think it's going to be the Cowboys win if Dak can put the entire team on his shoulders.
Oh, man.
Unfortunately,
a lot of pressure on Dak.
A lot of pressure on Dak. And with that defense, life's not fair. I just think that's how it'll work.
Come on, Dan Quinn.
We'll see Friday morning with highlights. Of course, we'll be here with you Monday through Friday, 7 to 10 a.m. Eastern. Everybody watching, joining us all over the place, even across the pond, as we welcome in Ian Rappaport, our NFL Network insider. Let's head to the AFC North. Ian, welcome to the show. How are you? Good to see you. What's the latest with the Steelers and TJ Watt? And what's going on with the Ravens backfield?
We'll start with TJ Watt, the star pass rusher for the Pittsburgh Steelers, who has been a little bit under the radar, holding in the entirety of training camp. And this thing now has reached a critical point with TJ Watt and the Steelers, as of course, you know, they were in long-term contract extension negotiations. It has been an incredibly difficult negotiation. Watt has barely participated in training camp at all, barely participated in practices. And head coach Mike Tomlin said yesterday he is optimistic that Watt will be out there today, practicing with his teammates, ready to go, and preparing to play in week 1. I am not so sure of that, because this is one where, as of right now, it is very up in the air if this thing actually gets done. If it gets done, Watt expected to be the highest paid defensive player in football. If it does not get done, it is likely because the Steelers do not fully guarantee contracts past year 1. It's unclear at this point if Watt is willing to accept that structure. Very, very big couple days for the Pittsburgh Steelers as far as the availability and viability of their star pass rusher. Meanwhile, a former Steeler, Le'Veon Bell, latched on yesterday in a little bit of a different way. He is signing with the Baltimore Ravens practice squad. The former big-time running back who had a very difficult year in Kansas City last year is going to try to do a little comeback situation thing in Baltimore. Now, signed with the practice squad, probably going to be promoted fairly soon. They lost 2 key backs, including J.K. Dobbins, to injury. So perfect opportunity for Le'Veon Bell to get some sort of career restart in Baltimore.
To a division rival from those Steelers fans who supported him all those years. Excited to see how that works out, of course. I'll have some fantasy advice for you a little later. Ian, do you want to know what else is on the show?
Say something.
Say yes.
Anybody.
Say something.
Yes, our Defensive Player of the Year predictions. It's prediction week. We keep rolling on with that. We have that coming up. We're going to have Christian Wilkins stop by the show. Our MVP picks and